always my live streams start like this. And you know what? I just forgot to air the microphone. I think it's because today we had problems with the sound, and I'm not about to risk. I'm not about to risk. Oh my god! Today is such a nice day. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. For those people who are watching back, thank you so much for always coming to I Am Womboy Live. Oh my god! This topic is so dear to me. Like, okay, it's not extremely dear, but it's something that I've been thinking about. So, here we go. Here we go. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. The topic, as you can see from the title, is when do men expire if women expire at 30? When do men expire if women expire at 30? This topic is very open to any gender. If you are a man and woman and you have an opinion, let's go. This is our time right here. But before we get there, let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know which country you're tuning in from. My good name is Womboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and this is I Am Womboy Live. I usually go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So always tune in at that hour, okay? So let me wait for you guys to tune in and to say hi. And you guys, when you join in, kindly like and subscribe, okay? We are about to have some fun in here. It's about to get hot in here. Welcome everybody. Welcome on board. When you tune in for the first time, kindly like and subscribe. And get yourself a cup of tea. Make yourself comfortable, because we are talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30. When do men expire if women expire at 30? Okay, you know, I've always heard people say that, like, when a woman turns 22, between the age of 22 and 29, that's literally the woman's prime. And then we all talk about that, like, men are not in their prime during those years. So a woman's peak time is during her young years. So which means when a woman gets older, she's not in her prime anymore. But you know, I just feel like this is something that we've been selling so much, and we've not been talking about when do men expire. When do men expire? Do men ever expire? So that's what we're talking about. My good name is Womboy. So let's wait for some people to join in here before we get started, okay? Hope you guys can see me very well. Yeah, you guys can see me very well. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Kindly say hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, okay, let's wait for, at least we are gonna start the topic at 5 minutes. We are at 3 minutes, so at 5 minutes, whether there's people in here or not, we're just gonna get going. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, today we are talking about a topic that I rarely see it being talked about, okay? But I think today is that day of talking about the topic, like, women expire at 30. When do men expire? Okay, we always talking about when women expire and stuff like that. The question is, do men ever even expire? Is that even something that we're willing to talk about? Okay. Okay, let's brace ourselves. So welcome to the live stream. My good name is Womboy. Women expire at 30 according to the society. So when do men expire? That's what you're talking about. Make sure you are saying hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. We're gonna get started at 5 minutes, whether there's people in here or not. But what you can do in the meantime is like the live stream. Oh yes, I think you guys brace yourself, because we are about to have some fun in here. Today we are starting with talking about something that almost nobody talks about. People keep saying women expire at 30. So my question is, women expire at 30. Men expire when? Okay? That's what we are asking ourselves. When do men expire? Okay, women expire at 30. When do men expire? That's what we're going to be talking about. And you know, we discuss these topics with a lot of love. Okay, so we just started with the question on the screen. So what do you think is the prime for men and women? What do you think is the prime for men and women? So you guys were still getting started. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the live stream, you guys. We are talking about women apparently, according to the society, expire at 30. When do men expire? That's what we are talking about. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. Thank you so much for being here. We are talking about women expire at 30. So at what age do men expire? Okay. So, and then we have a question on the screen. What age do you think is the prime for men and women? I think that's where we're going to be starting. So, according to you, what age do you think is the prime for men and women? Okay. So I think let's just get started because I said we're going to be starting at 5 minutes. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so I think let's just get going. Okay, growing up, or like when I became a young adult, I always had like people say that, you know what, at 19, at 18, you're too young, like just give yourself time. You're going to be at your peak when you turn 22 years old, between the age of 22 and let's say 28. That's when it's your prime. That's when it's your time to get the best man. That's when it's your time to like roam the streets, you know what I'm saying? That's when it's your time to settle down, have children, you know. And people keep emphasizing that like your prime is the age, your prime is the age where like you get all these things going on. Okay, I feel like nobody can convince me. Some of you are entering the dating scene at 47 with bad knees, unresolved trauma, a hairline fighting for survival, and you're talking about being in your prime. Okay, and I think this mostly emphasizes when it comes to men. Like men are the ones who literally in their 60s they are considered to be in their prime. Okay, but you know, there's a question that I'm asking: what age do you think is the prime for men and women? Okay, because people always say that the prime for women is 30 years old. What is the prime for men? Okay, and according to you, do you want to prove me wrong when it comes to like me saying that like that is the prime for women? Okay, so let's wait for some people in here. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. So I think maybe this is a topic. This is not a topic to fight over and like maybe insist on like who is in their prime or who is not in their prime. Okay, I think it's just a topic to have some fun with it and like talk about things that people never talk about. Okay. Okay. Let me wait for some people to join in here. Wow, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are talking about women expire at 30. So when do men expire? Okay, I think we're always talking about, as a woman, you have this long to be able to make everything out of what you want in this life. You have this long to get married. You have this long to do this and that, to do 1, 2, 3, the things that you want to do, the dreams that you want to accomplish. But the truth is, why do we always emphasize on like what time women got left? Okay, why do we always emphasize on like that like women expire at 30? Okay, and if women expire at 30, when do men expire? That's the question that you're asking ourselves. Let me know what you think when it comes to the topic. Yes, let me know what you think when it comes to the topic, because I think it's literally ridiculous thinking about how like there's a lot of imbalance when it comes to the same. A man who is 31 years old is considered to like still be building himself. He's got everything going on, he's got a future ahead. But a woman who is 31 years old, you're considered to be expired. So why is that? Why do our society see life like that? Okay, so that's what you're talking about. And we have a question on the screen. What do you think is the prime for women and men? What do you think is the prime? Okay, maybe without mostly emphasizing on what the society says, what do you think is the prime for women and men? Okay, so welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy, and we are talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30? When do men expire if women expire at 30? Kindly like the live stream, share the love. Let me know which country you're watching me from. Ariniko says there's a flag there. Which country is that? Which country is that? God, you know what? I thought that I knew all the flags, but that one I don't know which country that flag is from. Ariana says hi to you, Ariana. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Guys, kindly like the live stream and subscribe. My good name is Omboy. We are talking about when do men expire? If women expire, that we always talk about, if you're a woman at that, you're gonna be expired. When do men expire? Okay, because you will see a 50-year-old man and he's very much considered to be in his prime. Like, he's coming with broken bones, bad knees, unresolved traumas, hairline fighting for survival, an ex that he's refusing to get over, an ex from 2014 that he refuses to get over, but he's still considered to be in his prime. So let's see, where is the disconnect? Okay, where is the disconnect? Let me pin the question so that you guys can see. What do you think is the prime for men and women? What do you think is the prime for men and women? As Rinikos, that flag, oh my god, where is that flag from? Wow, please tell me. Sorry for being ignorant. Okay, so first of all, where did the whole women expire at 30 thing even come from? Like, who started the whole thing that women expire at 30? Because I have seen women at that when you look at their pictures, or like when they show you their memories of how they look like in their 20s, honestly, you wouldn't want to be with them. Like, but how they show up by working on themselves, like by getting better careers, by the time they are 30, you are like, that's my woman, I want to be with that woman. Okay, but where did the whole thing that like women expire at 30 come from? Okay, let me know what's your insights when it comes to the topic. Do you honestly believe that women expire at 30? And if that's the case, at what age do you think men expire at? Okay, because it feels like suddenly people decided women turn 30 and immediately no beauty, no value, no love, no happiness, expired, and all of these things. Okay, so let me know what you guys are thinking when it comes to this topic, and like when do men expire? When do men expire? Because when women turn 30, it's like no beauty, no value, no love, no happiness. Okay, so but when men age, you see an older man who is like 40 years old, 45 years old, 50 years old, that man is considered to be mature, to be distinguished, to be a provider, to be a silver fox, all those things. But when people see like a 50-year-old woman, they're like, oh my god, that's an old person. But when you see a 50-year-old man, it's like, oh my god, he's so mature, he's so distinguished. So is this something that like women have embraced or like have made to keep going? The whole thing of like referring to men as distinguished, as mature, as a provider, as silver fox. uh, so why are men becoming wine and women becoming expired yogurt? Like, why is that? Like, the man, as they grow older, they become better, okay? But according to the society, women, as they grow older, they become less valuable. So where is the disconnect? And like, where do all these things come to merge or to even matter? Okay, guys, remember we are talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30. And my initial question was women expire at 30, so when do men expire? Okay, and we have a question on the screen that's pinned. Make sure you're answering that. So my good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what are your thoughts when it comes to the topic, and I would like you guys to help me answer. What age do you think is the prime for men and women? What age do you think is the prime for men and women? Okay, what age do you think is the prime for men and women? I think there's something that we have to realize when it comes to this topic. Okay, there's things that the society do value in men and women. Okay, different things, and the things that society values in men and women are different things. Okay, when it comes to women, women are praised for youth, being young. That's the thing. Women are praised for being young. You know, she was so young, she had so much going on, like her beauty, you know, she's so beautiful, she have full breasts and all of these things. These are the things that women are praised for. Softness, she's so soft and tender, you know, that's what the society values in women. While when it comes to men, society values money, status, stability. Okay, so it doesn't matter if this man is 70-year-old. As far as he got money, status, stability, doesn't matter if this man is 90 years old. He got money, status, and he's stable. He's considered to be something. He's considered to be valuable. A man is considered valuable if he can provide, if he can provide stability for the woman, if he has money with him. So guys, remember we are talking about women expire at 30. So when do men expire? That's what we are talking about. That's basically our topic, and I would like to hear you guys' insights. Okay, so, and you know, most of the time how I do my lives, like we usually have questions, but in the meantime, like I think people usually mostly join at maybe 30 minutes or something, but we're still gonna be having some fun here going on with the topics. So wow, whenever I have coffee, not coffee, tea, it's just that whole like tasting the tea at the back of your mind. Okay, I don't know if you taste it, but you know, whenever I taste tea, like I kind of like taste it at the back of my, I don't know, throat. Welcome to the live stream, you guys. We're talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30. Okay, this is not a question so that to say like, oh, you know, men expire at this age. It's just something to look at the reality and like what society believes in. We've basically looked at like what do society value when it comes to men, when it comes to women. Okay, so we have just discovered that like society values youth in a woman, beauty, softness, and all of those things. While when it comes to a man, society values money, status, stability. So so let me read for you something that I wrote down. CJ, good evening. Good evening to you. How are you doing? So I know you have a lot to say when it comes to this topic. When do men expire? If women expire at 30, when do men expire? So I think aging affects men and women differently. Okay, aging affects men and women differently. When it comes to women, as far as you're aging, you becomes like the society sees you as an like you are approaching an expiration date. But as a man expires, it's like he becomes more defined, he becomes more distinguished, he becomes more profound, he becomes more deep. You know what I'm saying? So let me read your things, okay? Divan Shish Amav says, I don't think there's a prime age for men and women. Whenever we decide to be the best versions of ourselves is the prime age, in my opinion. Guys, we have a question on the screen. Let me know. I would like to get as many opinions as possible. What age do you think is the prime for men and women? What age do you think is the prime for men and women? Divan says, I don't think there's a prime age for men and women. Whenever we decide to be the best versions of ourselves is the prime age, in my opinion. Okay, good way to see it. Good, great point. Oh, CJ said that. CJ says, I think prime age for a man is 28 to 35. But you know what they will tell you? Well, they will tell you as a man at 28, you're still learning, like you're not yet there. Okay, what age do you think guys is the prime age for a man, or prime age? Okay, what is the prime age for a woman and what is the prime age for a man? Okay, because we have at this point we've literally discovered that like men and women aging, so naturally aging affects men and women differently. A broke man at 42 is also so a broke man who is 42 years old is mostly struggling in dating. Okay, a rich man at 42, he's probably having a time of his life. He's getting all the women that he can have. He's having a lot of fun. Nobody is telling him that he's expired. He has so many women, maybe even in their 20s, who want to be with him. Okay, so you look at that. So a broke man at 42. So this is just to say, if you are broke at 42, you will be considered as expired. Okay, that man is old, but he doesn't have anything going on with him. People will be saying stuff like that. Okay, let me know what Divan says. Thank you. Okay, welcome to the live stream, you guys. Let me know what do you think when it comes to the topic or what we are asking right here. So who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25-year-old or an average looking stable 40-year-old? Let me type that for you guys. Who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25-year-old or an average looking stable 40-year-old? Welcome to the live stream. Who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25-year-old Okay, who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25-year-old or an average looking 40-year-old? Who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25-year-old or an average looking 40-year-old? Remember, you guys, we are talking about when do men expire. If women expire at that, we always emphasize, as a woman, make sure you use your prime. For example, right now I'm gonna be turning 24 very soon. I'm considered to be in my prime. Okay, and you'll hear people telling you like, oh, take that time to have children if you want them, take that time to get married if you want to, but who said that there's an expiry date? Madas the Heathen says, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. I know you have a lot to say when it comes to this topic. So when do men expire if women expire at 30? When do men expire if women expire at 30? We have a question on the screen. Who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25 25-year-old or an average looking 40-year-old? Mothers, the Hisa says expire at 30. Now, for me, middle ages are prime for both. And what is middle ages for you? You know, it could be 40, it could be 60. What's middle age for you? But I know it's maybe between 35 to like 48. Okay, but see, yeah, no, like 28 to 50. Oh wow. Ah, Lord, I feel like most of us want to sit here and say that like people don't consider women to be expiring at that, especially. Let me tell you, for a single woman who have children and she's a single mother, if you click 30 before you find somebody, oh my God, it's like you can even find a great man who wants to marry you, but friends will advise the man, oh no, don't do that. Especially if it's a man with no children, like you'll hear things like, oh, the game is supposed to start at 0-0, nobody should already have a score of 1, stuff like that, so I don't know. Okay, so when do men expire if women expire at 30? And guys, answer the question on the screen. Answer the questions on the screen. Who would you rather date, a beautiful broke 25-year-old or an average looking 40-year-old? CJ says, I mean, you're the female friend. You are the female. That's the question we should be asking here. No. That's really funny. But you see, okay, don't focus on the part where like, but you guys are the men and you're the ones who say that women expire at 30. Okay, so I should be asking you guys. Okay, but at the same time, jokes aside, at the same time, I would like, who would you rather date? Also, even for you guys, with this question, it doesn't say a beautiful, broke, 25-year-old female. It doesn't say that. It just generalizes. Okay? It just generalizes. So anybody can be free to answer the question. Devon says, I think it's important for women to be financially independent. Beauty doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's like the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. One can find the 40-year beautiful too. Wow. Okay. And see, I feel like these days men, or like my generation, men are also chasing the bag. Okay, you'll see somebody who is just 20-year-old and he's with a 40-year-old female who is a corporate body and she's doing good for herself. Yeah. I feel like men have also started chasing the bag when it comes to like dating. Okay, but you know what, Divan, let me tell you, you have great points when it comes to this issue. So for somebody who you want your woman to be literally financially independent, you kind of have to like look at women who are 30-year-old and above, because most women at 20, you're just offering looks. What you bring to the table is beauty. That's what you bring to the table. But women over 30, they've gone through the whole phase of bringing beauty, and they've decided to chase a career for themselves, have money for themselves and stuff. That's the reason. Says, confession, I like 40-year-olds more than youngies. Oh wow. Okay, why? I feel like I have had men say that like they like 40, 50-year-old, 60-year-old, especially young men, say because this woman already knows her body very well. Like, yeah, and most of these over 40 years also there's no period, so there's no breaks when it comes to intimacy. I don't know, what is your reasons? uh but there's the reason. Says, I'm either 18 or 48 with this quote. It is your decision. Welcome to the live stream. You guys, can you like the live stream and share the love? We are asking a question. When do men expire if women expire at 30? Okay, we are gonna sit here and say, oh, who said women expire at 30? But we all know that's a true thing. That's something that we always encourage women, like, get married, have some children before you are 30, and you can just be beautiful. Diva says, I believe that 40-year-old women have more life experience and wisdom than broke 25-year-old. So what would you prefer, the 40-year-old? The 40-year-old. Okay, because honestly, the 25-year-old is serving looks, and you guys bear in mind that I'm gonna be turning 24 soon, so it's like you're talking straight to me. So I feel like when you're 24-year-old, 22-year-old, you're just serving looks. The future is so unsure, if I would say. The future is so unsure. You don't know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to life. You don't know what you want. You tend to think that you know what you want, but honestly I think that you don't. Also, you also don't, you know your body, but you also don't know it so well. There's a lot of factors, so I can see why men would prefer women who are 40-year-old and above. Uh-huh. Okay, so let's keep answering that question. So, and you know, when I was thinking about this topic, or like how women society quote unquote says that women expire at 30, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about a woman a woman at 31. So if you're a woman and you're 31 year old, mostly you're being told that you're running out of time, while a man at 31, he's being told that he's still figuring himself out. Okay, he's still figuring himself out. Okay, can you see the difference? Like, a woman at 31, you're running out of time. A man at 31, he's figuring himself out. Okay, he got like 20 years to go before he get it right. Like, a man is given as much time as possible to build himself, while for a woman, it's like you either got it at 22 or like at 25, or you don't got it. Like, yeah. Okay, I was looking at images from the other day when with Met Gala, whatever. And of course, we saw these icons and stars like Beyonce, Cardi B, Rihanna. All these people are over there, and I saw people saying that, like, because Beyonce showed up with Blue Ivy, that like she's coaching her to take over. Okay, because she got old. Okay, so who says that she got old? Who says that now, because she's not 20 anymore, she's not 30 anymore, that now she should retire? Who says that? Okay, let me keep reading your comments, guys. Let me know what you think. When do men expire, if women expire that? And make sure you're liking the live stream and subscribing. Divan says, being brutally honest, most people are gonna pick a 25-year-old, a broke 25-year-old. Of course, looks play a huge role in approaching someone even before getting to talk to them. Yes, yes. Mostly people will be naturally attracted to somebody who is 25-year-old, because maybe they have protruding nipples. If it's the other way around, if it's like women who are looking at men, you're looking at somebody who is maybe strong, they look young, you know, they are more attractive, but you gotta think about it. But honestly, I think also it depends with what are you attracted to. Okay, what are you attracted to? If you're attracted to like wisdom, you're mostly gonna be attracted. But honestly, I kind of agree with you. Okay, so guys, remember the scenario that I just told you. A woman at 31, you're being told that you're running out of time, while a man at 31, he's still figuring himself out. So maybe that question brings me to something that I would like us to ask ourselves. Who has more pressure to marry? Hey, the Kikuyu in me. Who have more pressure to marry early? Okay, between men and women. Let me type that for you guys. I like to have as many questions as possible, because I don't like my shows to be like a lecture room or something. I want us to go to like maybe let me tell you, I learn a lot of things from these shows. Because I kind of like get people's opinions. So who has more pressure to marry? To marry early, not later on, but early, men or women? Devon's his mom says, I'm actually an 18-year-old girl. But if oh wow, I don't know your name. Honestly, I think because your name is not common from where I'm from. I kind of thought that you are a guy, but it's good to know. I am actually an 18-year-old girl. But if I was born a man, I would marry a 40-year-old. Ah, oh my God. So, but now that you are a girl, what age would you rather marry? Uh, Maybe a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 30-year-old. What is more attractive? So, who has more pressure to marry early? The women or the men? The women or the men? Uh, so, when it comes to this question, who has more pressure to marry early? I think women. For the men, women, you're told like you need to settle down by this age, you need to settle down by this age. And I think when I was 18 and 19-year-old, I kept hearing women say that like they are being pressured to make a decision, until like you hear people now randomly, when I was growing up, I was being told about teenage pregnancies, where it should never why it should never happen, like you should never allow teenage pregnancy to happen to you. So but then when you start growing up and like getting more older, they stop saying those things to you. So that's how you realize that they've given you a through pass. Like you can just go ahead and like if you want to get pregnant, get pregnant. Actually, you'll hear somebody saying that like, you know what, children are a good thing. Children I've had my mom say that several times, like children are a good thing, because she honestly knows that I don't care for children. Okay, I care for other people's children, but I don't want to have my own. So but I was just bringing that up to say that like when you're growing up, you're being told that if you get pregnant, it will ruin your life. Okay, but within no time they start talking about that it will ruin your life. Okay, guys, kindly like the live stream, so you can get people in here. CJ says, how old is your fiance? Okay, I don't think he don't like, I'll bring him here one day on the channel so he can say for himself. Nova says, personally, I find women between the ages of 30 and 40 the most attractive. They have life experience, are well educated, and know how to carry themselves well in social settings. I myself and okay, maybe Thomas, you try to type the last part of the thing. Personally, I find women between the ages of 30 and 40 the most attractive. Okay, and if you don't mind, how old are you? They have life experience, are well educated, and know how to carry themselves. Okay, and they also have money of their own, because when you date some of us who are 20-year-old, you gotta carry us, like we're still trying to figure life out. We are in the most vital stages of our life where we gotta figure things out. Oh wow, so that's a good perspective. But okay, if you don't mind, you can tell us. Devan says, I think women are more pressured to marry, as in the most stereotypical families, women are told to be dependent on their husbands, and that women should stick to household activities, which is bad. Okay, so according to Devan, she says, I need to emphasize that, that like women are the ones who are most pressured. Yeah, I think first of all, because like they think, I feel like even parents, they have been conditioned to think like the only way that like a woman can succeed, or the only way that a woman can be better, is if she's married. So, and if not, so I kind of agree with you. I think women are the most pressured. But if you have a different opinion, let me know. CJ is laughing. Okay. No comment. No comment. Rime Riske says, do you have kids? Is it Rhyme Riske? Okay, let me tell you, forgive my pronunciation, you guys. Different schools, different pronunciations, okay? As far as you guys understand what I'm saying. Do you have kids? Nope, I don't have kids. Why? Doma says, I myself am a bit older and single. Okay, so it makes sense for you wanting between 30 and 40, because it's one thing let's say you just turned 18 and you're saying women who are between the ages of 30 and 40 are more attractive. Okay, it's one thing, but you know what, I feel like also with the way the society goes, people are more accepting if you date an older man as a woman than if a younger man dates an older woman. Do you guys agree with me when it comes to that? Like, people are more accepting when it's a man dating a younger woman. Yeah, okay, but I also feel like when a younger woman goes for an older man, it's always the whole gold digging stuff, you know. But when a younger man goes for an older woman, I don't know. They said the woman wants to be sexually satisfied or stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of things going on when it comes to this topic. Welcome to the live stream, you guys. My good name is Wamboy. And you're a man and woman. What? Lord. Hey, this thing put itself on full screen. I don't like that. Oh, how do I exit that? Okay. Today I've realized I don't know how to operate this laptop. Oh, exit full screen. Okay. Okay, welcome to the live stream, you guys. So there's another thing. So I also feel like men expire emotionally because before they expire physically. Okay, people always say that men got it going on. You know why people? I feel like the reason why people say that like men don't get old is because physically, I don't think the age shows up on men. First of all, men don't give birth. Okay, they have children, but men don't give birth. So unlike women who are affected by childbirth and the whole breastfeeding and stuff like that, so unlike that, so unlike how women are affected by childbirth, women are affected by different things and different issues. Okay, so men, that's why men don't get old, because even if a man has 10 children, that will never show up on him physically. Okay, so another thing it's like men still got it going on sexually, even at 60, some at 70, some at 80. You know, men still got it going on, while women mostly try slow down, maybe after they are in their 40s. I don't know, because I've never been 40, so I don't know. But according to statistics, women slow down sexually after the age of 40, while men keep going, like they keep wanting it. Okay, so I feel like men expire emotionally before they expire physically. Maybe physically you can think, oh, this is a 30-year-old man, but mentally, oh, mentally the way that man feels, he feels old. These are just my analogies. Let me tell you, Thomas and maybe somebody who is older here, let me know how do you guys feel mentally. Okay, Charles Moss is laughing. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Yes, when you join in, kindly like the live stream and subscribe. Dr. Ugly, oh, that's exactly why you're Dr. Ugly, so you can treat not pretty people to look pretty. Okay, that doesn't faze me if you thought I was one of those people who get faced by such things. Okay, I feel like men hit 35 and suddenly most of them are scared of commitment, cannot communicate, healing from a relationship from 2014, still saying I'm not ready, you know. Oh Lord God. What was the last question? I think we have already answered that. So do men age better naturally or financially? So do men age better naturally or financially? Okay, I think most of us already have the answer to that. Do men age better naturally or financially? Guys, make sure you're subscribing and liking. Let's get ourselves somewhere do men age better naturally or financially? I think maybe you guys can differ with me, but according to me, I think men age better financially. Okay, with age, I don't know. With age, just men tend to have it going on. Okay, but I feel like it's both. Honestly, I feel like it's both. Most men, they are also physically, they are still fine, and also they are still drawing rich. I think for me, for men, it's both. I feel like for men, it's both. Well, I feel like maybe women can age financially, can age well financially, but physically, because there's a lot of factors when it comes to like a woman aging well. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know where are you watching me from. Also, we have a topic: when do men expire? If women expire at 30. That's what we are talking about. That's basically the topic of the day. You can drive the conversation any direction you want, and we are gonna get there. Okay. But there's the reason says depends on how you spent your money. Most women buying things non-stop, lipstick, nail varnish. You can spend money that much as a man too, but it is harder. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. But see, it depends. But see, I think that's where it depends. A man who got married early, that's why I feel like people encourage men to first of all build wealth, because people do believe that like when men marry, the possibility of them building an empire, becoming great, close to narrow, because now you have your woman buying lipsticks, nail varnish, she's having tips, she's having gel, doing hair every other week. You know, I feel like that's why people encourage men not to marry early. Or what do you think? Because I've had people say to men like, oh my god, don't commit, don't do that, don't get married early, unless you'll never accomplish anything. Okay. uh Just says, hey, I'm just passing by, I'm having a busy night. Okay, thank you so much just for passing by. I don't like it as a woman, but it is what it is to me. Okay. Okay. Doma says, oh guys, remember to like the live stream. Like the live stream, you guys, so we can get more people in here, and subscribe. Doma says, I've been single my entire life, so I've never been married, but I don't but I did have 3 long-term relationships while living in Kenya. I ended them amicably because I didn't want to marry the women involved. Wow. Do you know why? Okay. Why didn't you want to marry them? Like, did you feel like you are not ready? Because as I said, I think I said a few minutes ago, I said you'll find when men hit 35 and suddenly scared of commitment, because they're scared of like taking on, you know, when you marry somebody, you're taking on their burden, especially as a man. And I feel like that's why people tell men not to get married early. I've heard even women advise men like, oh my god, don't get married early. You just first of all build yourself, have a kingdom, like build an empire. That's the only way you can get there. Build something for yourself. And now I'm hearing it from Thomas. Thomas says that he was scared of commitment. Okay, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Nelson Mutweri says, what's your opinion on marriage? Are you up for it? I think you're asking, am I up for it? I think marriage is a nice thing as far as it's not being abusive, because honestly the last thing that I want in my life is like to be abused in a marriage. I don't feel like, growing up, my idea of marriage was like the worst thing that could ever happen to a human being. To be really honest with you, I don't want to sit here and sugarcoat things or act as if like, you know, I just like to be really honest. So growing up, and I think I've said this several times, I grew up in a village where like domestic violence used to be very common. And so my idea of marriage was a lot darker, a lot of trauma, a lot of fighting, a lot of, especially as a woman, receiving beatings. You know, that was my idea of marriage. So I remember going to high school, I would say that like I don't see myself, maybe I would see myself getting into relationships, but to be really honest, I never saw myself as a married woman, because God, I just thought as a married woman you're on the receiving end of beatings and stuff like that, and I never want such stuff to happen. So, but my idea have changed over time by interacting with people who are showing good marriage signs and people who treat each other fine. So yeah, I think right now, as of now, I think I'm up to marriage, although I can only get married to somebody who doesn't want children, because I don't want children, and I don't want to get halfway there and like we start resenting each other. So yeah, I'm up to marriage. That's my idea of marriage. What's your opinion on marriage, Nelson? Matthias the Heathen says, seems like I'll marry. I'll have a house in my early life thanks to my family. And looks like I'll have a nice paying job too. Marriage matters for me. Ooh. Okay, that's what Fadea says. Marriage matters to him. Okay, I think at the moment, right now, I can say, and I always say this even when I talk about children, I can tell you right now, as one boy at 23 turning 25, I don't want children right now. But maybe that idea might change 10 years down the line. That might change. Maybe feeling like marriage is a good thing, that maybe might change down the line. But where I'm at right now, I think we are allowed to change our minds. But wow, good for you, Matthias. Charles says, yeah, because those emotions overwhelming and scary as well as trusting strangers isn't 100% safe. Wow. Ah, Lord, we are getting way deeper, aren't we? Stephen Mutumbu says, how are you, Omboy? Uga Omboy, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Welcome to the live stream. Guys, keep liking the live stream and kindly subscribe. Let's grow the channel. Let's grow together. Matthias the Ethan says, but it looks like I'm not going to find the woman I'd like to. So I'm probably not going to marry. Oh my God, you had me on the first one. CJ says, why don't you want any children? First of all, to not sugarcoat, because I like us to have, I like you guys as my fans, or like as people who usually watch me every other day here. I like to be honest with you guys, okay? First of all, my thing is, I think I've already been parentified, okay? So I wasn't the firstborn in my household, but I was the only daughter, okay? And I had younger brothers. So throughout my life, I've always been parentified. Like, I've always been the one who is cleaning them, okay? Sometimes in the household, I was the one who was cooking all the time. And you guys, I know you say that's child labor. That's pretty common out here, okay? So I don't have that fantasy when it comes to children. I don't, okay? Let me sit up so that I can tell you guys. I don't have that fantasy when it comes to having children, because I know the reality of having children. I know what it is. I know how expensive it is, because I've bought my siblings clothes before. I have helped feed them. So I've already been parentified. So I know what children are. You can sit here and tell me it's the best thing that can ever happen. It can be the best thing that can happen to you, but most of the time it's really not. Especially, but this is just my idea. I grew up in a household with boys. Oh my God, if I ever get pregnant and I find out it's a boy, I'll be traumatized. Okay, so my thing is, so to you, CJ, why don't I want to have children? I've already been parentified before. That's one reason. So I don't fantasize about children. I think they are expensive. Experiencing firsthand, because remember, you guys, I told you I've been a parent, but not to my children, to other people's children. I think it takes away your time. I don't think my mom ever got to experience life, because she started having children at a young age. I don't think she ever enjoyed herself. She never found who she is. She never found her voice. She never got into a hobby because there were children crying. So those are some of the reasons. I have a lot of reasons. If you want me to keep going, let me know. God, this is it Javiona? Because now that I'm learning German, I realize that J is a Y. Javiona Alexander, is that Trinidad and Tobago? Oh wow, good to see you, Trinidad and Tobago. Yo, Stephen Mutumbu says, how is Trinidad? Okay, so I got that right. Thomas says, I love my freedom and independence. I honestly make this clear to all women right from the start of a relationship, and they accept me just as I am. I love my freedom and independence. Wow. Okay. Let me tell you, in a relationship, you gotta think about the other person. And for some people, it's freeing. For other people, it's nagging. okay? For other people it's nagging. So I can see what you're saying. But I think women who you would only get involved with, I would assume that they maybe want the same thing like you do. They don't want commitment. They want to be free. Okay, Nelson Muturi says, my view of marriage is like a fulfillment of society's expectations. Nowadays people are entering with pressure and not ready or prepared for it afterwards, but it comes messy. That's literally what it is. And I think our parents got married for that reason. Okay, let me not say our parents, because I don't know about your parents, I know about mine. Okay, I am sorry. Okay, so but if I was to talk about my parents, I think they just got married to fulfill society's expectation. It wasn't something that it was their personal motive. Okay, it was never their personal motive. Not their personal motive to get married. They just got married because that's what was politically correct. I don't want to get married for those reasons. I want to get married because I want to. I want to have children because they make sense to me, not because somebody is somewhere on the backseat saying you have children. Mother says, I'm agreeing with on. Oh, you're agreeing with Nelson? Me too. Honestly, because thinking about it and the way, and I think right now, even in African countries, it has changed. But when you think about even the way people are being abusive in marriages, you are like, right now, when I look about it, I can't think somebody putting their hands on somebody they love like that. And also every other day, you guys just started cooking and your father just showed up drunk and started throwing pots everywhere, left, right, center, disorienting the house. Okay, these are stories that I've heard from people. Okay, lucky for me, my dad was never a drunkard, but these were real stories out there. Okay, CJ says, but what if your fiance wants children? And that's why it's important for you to make sure that the person that you're with, if you don't want children, that's why it's important to make sure the other person doesn't. Because if you're not on the same page, what happens? For example, let's say I don't want children and my fiance wants children. If I end up having children, I'm gonna have them to please him. But see, I just disregarded myself. And also another thing, I'm gonna resent him because he made me make a decision that I didn't want to. So I think that's important, to make sure that you're on the same page. Okay, do whatever it takes to, yeah. Steve Mutumbu says, you will have beautiful children. Oh, okay, in your dreams. Matthias the Hazen says, if you're married, you should know there are lines. You should know yourself and your lines first. Okay, I think it's important for people who are getting married to have boundaries, because I realize that these are things that, like, married, especially traditional marriages, that's something that these marriages lack. Okay, they lack you having your personal boundaries, knowing what you want. And why does it feel like when you get married is like you put your dreams on the side, you put your vision on hold, you let go of everything that you ever wanted. I'm watching something here on Netflix right now. It's called Knocked Up. It's a movie basically. Okay, it's a movie, and this lady, she finds out she's pregnant after she had some fun with this guy, and the guy didn't wear some condom. Okay, so she finds out she's pregnant, and then the guy is into, like, he's one of those guys that doesn't have a job, but he has a dream, trying to create a website. Okay, so when he realizes that, when the lady tells him that, oh my god, I'm pregnant, like, we are gonna have a baby, so he goes back to his friends, and they normally create this website. They usually cohabit like 6 people in that house. Okay, they cohabit like 6 people, so you can realize. And then the friends are telling him, like, oh my god, now you have to let go of your dreams. How about the vacation that you wanted to go in Vancouver? How about all these other things? Okay, so it feels like most of the time you have to let go of your dreams when you get married, but I don't think it should be that way. Charles says, I've had similar experiences growing up and hustling out of poverty. Those experiences have scared me of rearing kids. I share those same reasons. Okay, let me tell you, for some of you who grew up in happy homes, in household where you had everything, you'd never wanted for anything. Your parents were pretty much happy. They cared for each other. They were loving. For those of you who grew up in such households, you can never understand what I'm saying. But for somebody who have experienced my story and who knows what I'm talking about, you really know what I'm talking about. Okay? So when I see people saying that, like, oh, those are not good enough reasons, for me it's good enough reason. CJ says keep going. Okay, keep going on the reasons not to have children. I could fill a book right now. What is another reason? You know, another reason that is literally very important to me. I've seen children who have grown up and they've become very rude to their parents. Okay. Also, there have been stories of children abusing their parents physically, emotionally, however. Okay. Let me tell you, because honestly, I can't believe that I give you life as my child. Okay, I gave birth to you, you're my child. I can't believe, like, I have given you life and you want to take away my peace. You want to abuse me, like, especially, I don't know, but this is just my notion because I grew up around boys. Okay, I think boys can get very rude. That's just my notion. Okay, especially when you have boys. So I think one of the things that I'm scared about having a child who stands up like this and maybe he even threatens to slap me. God, even that idea is just giving me. Okay, can you imagine a child that you pushed out, a child that you fed all these years, standing up to you and abusing you? And you know what? These things I've experienced firsthand. Not firsthand because I don't have children, but I've seen them in real life play out. Okay, I've seen them in real life. You guys may say that I'm being pessimist, I'm being negative, just looking at the negative side. But let me tell you, when those things happen, so because CJ told me to keep going on, like, why I don't want children, that's another reason. I would feel so bad, honestly. I think we would have to, both of us, end our lives if I have a child and they are trying to abuse me, because no, that's not acceptable. So another reason, I'm afraid, like, you have a child and then they become a failure and then they blame their entire lives onto you. Okay, let's say they're not even trying in life. They're like, why did you give birth to me in the first place? Like, what was wrong with you? Like, you guys went there, had fun, had a good time, and then you gave birth to me. I feel like it's such a huge responsibility to be somebody's parent, because anytime their life goes south, guess what, they are blaming you. Because I find myself sometimes when, like, I'm thinking, God, if I was born to rich parents, what would have my life been? So when I think about that, and I sometimes you kind of like, you blame your parents because they don't have better opportunity for you. I just don't want those things to happen to me. Okay, God, I can keep going, but I think I must stop there. Maybe I can do another video. We can come on here live some other time to talk about. But if you want me to keep going, we can keep going with the list. Matthias the Heathen says, I mean, if you hustled out of it, believe me, it's not a bad idea to consider your opinion, of course. Okay, but you know, the problem is, let me tell you, for some of us who come from not privileged households, if you try, you make one mistake, then you're back down there. Okay, one mistake, you're back down there, and that's the problem. Matthias the Heathen says, as someone whose parents married each other, loving each other, they did raise 3 children without getting tired of it. They both made money. I had a wonderful childhood. Marriage is not a hell for me. I wish I would say the same for me. Okay, don't get me wrong, my parents were not the worst. Okay, they were not the worst that there was, but I wouldn't say like that's the type of marriage that you would want to copy and paste. Okay, unfortunately. Madaya says, I'm giving this example because one boy named her example with her parents. I wanted to share different marriage perspective. Okay, yeah, and I know, and I don't take offense in that. It's just your truth, and this is also my truth. Richurai official says, where did you get that smile? It's pure. Okay, I don't know. Welcome to the live stream, guys. Can you subscribe? Stephen Mutungu says, majority of us, we suffer childhood trauma. There's a big debate. Okay, and I think most of us who come from African household, because I have been into different forums where people are talking about the way people in the West are quick to divorce, people in Europe are quick to divorce. But you know what? They raise what? Okay, I don't know, but I'm just saying. I feel like they raise most children without traumas. Because the moment you decide, let's go our separate ways, this is not working, let's go our separate ways, and co-parent, okay? But when you look at our mothers, African mothers, they don't have a lot of opportunities to even get out of these marriages. This is basically this, the marriage has to work out, or they don't have any other option. So, okay, so when you, Steve Mutumbu, say we have a lot of childhood trauma, definitely we do. Definitely we do. Sometimes you just, and then it's a very bad feeling, especially if your parents are still together. Having also maybe having witnessed maybe your parents being abusive to each other. If they're still together, you just don't know where to lean in. You still have that pain in you as a child of the fighting and all of those things is still going, but you have this love thing. So it's usually like a love-hate thing going on for you. Mother says, I can agree on that vision. I didn't have any, but you guys seem like perceiving marriage as a limit or a line, not as potential happiness. If we, but you know, I feel like we are talking from a point of trauma. Okay, for those of you who grew up in happy households, tell us the beauty or like the positive side to marriage. Because honestly, for some of us who have a lot of trauma, it's like you tiptoe because you don't want to step in, you don't want to fully go in there. Steven says marriage is not an achievement. But I know you're talking from a point of trauma. I didn't say it is, but it helps you, your sanity, I believe. Happiness comes first. Mother's business. For me too, mate, we are not diversing there. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. Remember, you guys, we are talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30? When do men expire if women expire at 30? Make sure you join in into the debate. You can have you can make friends here on the chat, honestly. Nelson Mutreri says, not everyone is meant for marriage, but it comes with a lot of commitment, effort, sacrifice. So it really changes every part of you. For me, I think someone should prioritize happiness. Okay. But you know, I think for some of us, you know, the problem is for those of us who grew up in trauma, we don't think those two things can exist at the same time. But the truth is, marriage should bring happiness. But unfortunately for us who have witnessed a lot of trauma, children trauma, okay, we carry that trauma with us. So unfortunately for us, we don't see marriage and happiness in the same sentence. But maybe we should try and start seeing marriage and happiness in the same sentence. Charles says, them kids is turned right into some of those troublesome people trying to beat you down for your own things. Okay. For those of you who don't want children, let me know some of your reasons. Type some of your reasons in there. Let me see. Am I overstepping? Am I overemphasizing on these things? Ritual official says, where did you get that smile? Thank you so much. Mother's Day says, so let's say you saw abuse in your household. Why assume it will happen in your household too? Let's say you witness murder. So you'll kill. You would kill, but you can't control what the other person will be. You know, that's what you don't realize. For those of us who grew up seeing abuse, you know, it's like, even if your partner starts shouting a little bit, it triggers you. It triggers something in you. It's like you're already on run. This ain't it. Okay. Richu Rise official says, where are you from? I'm from Kenya. Thank you so much for tuning in. Where are you from? Charles says, I've seen mistreated kids and indecent parents. It's depressing and heartbreaking. Kids literally can't fail in life compared to some of these real life examples of human beings. Okay? God, it's traumatizing. And let me tell you, childhood trauma never leaves, especially that one of chaos. It never leaves. Okay? Steven Mutumbu says, but my grandfather had 4 wives, 29 children, and all educated and love each other. He was a doctor. Okay? Okay, that's good. That's good. But let me tell you, if he was a regular person, he would be causing chaos in there. 4 wives. I mean, of course, my wife will shout on me sometimes, right? I ain't no saint. Nor her. Yeah, that's true. Guys, remember you're talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30. When do men expire if women expire at 30? Okay, so let me know, do you still have that impression of like, as a woman should get married by particular age, a man should get married by particular age? And if that doesn't happen, what does that look like for you? So can people reinvent themselves after that? Let's say you've made some of the worst major decisions in your life. Can people reinvent themselves after that? Can people reinvent themselves after that? Remember, you guys, we are talking about if women expire at 30, when do men expire? Mother says, just not in front of children. And the mattering thing is forgiving each other. But see, the problem is, most people say, we are going to be arguing, it's all cutesy and romancy until, you can't control how you feel, how you're throwing stuff all over. Children are gonna hear. And let me tell you, one of the most nosy things, because I remember I used to listen all the time. I don't care where my parents, which room they are at, I'm listening. Okay, I was always listening. So you just don't fight. Okay, you can find a way of arguing without shouting. But I know it's hard when you're living with somebody, especially for a lot of years, because they get on your nerves. Okay. So, in your opinion, you guys, can people reinvent themselves after that? Okay, maybe for men, because of course you're not considered to be expired. Maybe it's not reinventing. Maybe it's just continuing with life. But can women reinvent themselves? Can women look at life differently? Like, can women see value in themselves after that, especially after being told uh, that you're not valuable? Matthias the Heathen says, there's a Turkish woman named Umie Kokak. She liked books and films. She started doing films at 50. She was just an educated village woman. She shot an ad with Ronaldo even. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I think that's the best thing. I think that's the best answer to, like, can people reinvent themselves after that? The whole thing of like thinking a particular age is a death sentence, I think, should stop. We should see ourselves as like our life is continuous. It doesn't matter if we are men or women. I feel like life is continuous. Let me maybe check up on me in 10 years and see like if I'll still be thinking the same. In 10 years, will I still be thinking the same? Like, you can reinvent yourself anytime. Will I still be thinking the same? We'll find out. Stephen Mutumbu says, ukweli, truth. Let's say you are standing and reminds me my late grandmother. Long, beautiful hair, Ethiopian. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. So can people reinvent themselves after that? Can people reinvent? We have Mother's response. So others, if you don't mind, you want to respond, the floor is yours. Can people reinvent themselves? So I think the internet make people fear aging, okay, too much, especially for women. Like, there's a lot of, and also there's a lot of, but let me tell you, the moment you're starting to feeling insecure about anything, there's somebody who is reaping benefit off of that. Okay, I think people, I feel like capitalism have also gotten so much into our society. Like right now, as a woman, if you don't do makeup, are you even a woman? You're made to feel that way, and that's how they are able to make a lot of money. If I show up here with my dry lips, you guys are going to be wondering, oh, what's wrong with one boy? Like, why can she oil her lips, moisturize? See, somebody is capitalizing off of that, okay? There's a lot of Botox going on in different people. By making me feel old, now I gotta go and get a Botox to make sure that, like, I keep looking young. Uh, when it comes to like let's say even hair transplant, can you see all these things going on to make sure that we look young? There's a lot of people, there are people who are capitalizing on this. There are people who are making money on like making us feel like it's not good to look old or to get older. Oh my god, sunscreen, like, no, you need to buy this aging cream so that like you look younger, you don't show any sign of being old. All these things, there are people who are benefiting on us feeling like we are not good enough or like we are getting old. Charles says, my ideal marriage is a private arrangement with a fish farm, working together every day, traveling the world at a slow, comfortable pace, no obligations to the world. But can that really happen? Or is that a fantasy? Okay, is that a fantasy? I think because of course I'm a farm girl, I'm a country girl. My ideal marriage is somewhere where like we own a property. First of all, enough with all that paying rent, okay? I can't wait for me to get, or for me and my partner to get to that point where like we own a property somewhere in like in the middle of nowhere, where like we are just surrounded by trees, by nature, and I don't have to wake up and to go to the farm. Like it honestly have to be a choice. So my ideal marriage, or like what marriage looks like, because Charles uh, said that his looks like a private arrangement with a fish farm, working together every day. So mine is like in the just especially having a home in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Yes, in the middle of nowhere, have some fun. First of all, I just want to disconnect from this whole capitalism thing. I just want to not be pay all these bills. Okay, you can go off grid and buy yourself solar systems and just start a life out there without even overthinking. But I don't mind paying electricity, okay? But I just want to know that like I really own this property. Like we really own this property. Nobody who is gonna be there knocking at our door for us to pay rent. That's just what the ideal marriage. And also it's peaceful, it's calm, there's no chaos, there's no the outside pressure, there's no the outside opinions. I just wanna keep to myself. That's what my ideal marriage looks like. I don't know what yours. Uh Okay. Charles says no fantasy. Personally, under 3,000 for me. Oh, do you mean $3,000 or 3,000 euros? Okay, because I think most of these we fantasize. We do have a lot of dreams, but maybe some of them materialize. Some of them they just remain to be fantasies. Okay. So would you date someone 15 years older? I don't care if you're a guy. If you're a guy, especially if you're a guy, would you date somebody who is 15 years older? Of course, for women is yes, but let me not assume. Okay. Charles says, fun minus the financial headache and enough food for a small school. Fun minus the financial headache and enough food for a small school. Dollars, okay? First of all, let me tell you, the best thing that we could ever do as a society right now is literally to unplug from the whole capitalism thing. Is getting out of hand. Everything. Let me tell you, we are being sold everything. Within no time, they are going to start selling oxygen. And that's when you know that we are really messed up. We are really messed up society. Okay, honestly, right now I think that's the best opinion. That's the best option. Like, to unplug, go somewhere in the middle of nowhere, start a life, do your own farming thing. Honestly, growing up, I didn't appreciate the farming lifestyle because we've lived a farming lifestyle. We've had a land. The corn that we grow, the food that we eat, potatoes that we eat, greens that we eat, they are literally, we grow them, so we know where they're coming from. But I've never appreciated that lifestyle until I came out here, and now there's all these bills. That's when you start appreciating the life that you were living on that farm. Oh my god, everything was free. Okay, and right now you got bills left, right, center. Right now, when I think about a sandwich, ah, then you're thinking about you're gonna spend maybe between $10 and $20. You go get yourself the bread, get yourself the chicken prawn, all these things. You When you think about like having a good breakfast in the farm, we have chicken, so you just pick an egg there, uh, you know. So that's another thing, like literally unplugging from the society. So would you date someone? I think I did mispronounce. Would you date someone who's 15 years old? I think for women the answer is yes. For most women the answer is yes. But let me not answer for the men. And guys, if you're just joining in, my good name is Omboy. Thank you so much. We're talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30. When do men expire if women expire at 30? I think the internet make people fear aging. Okay, that's just what it is. That is still young. Okay, that is still young. 40 is still young. It honestly matters with how you feel. Okay, who says, okay, growing older, I think it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time. But it honestly depends with how you feel deep down as a person. Okay, I don't like how like maybe we see people and tell them, oh my god, you're growing older, because this literally confirms an insecurity that they already have. Okay, so I feel like that is still young, 40 is still young, 50 is still young, 60 is still young. It just matters how you feel deep down. Some people become happier, wiser, richer, and more attractive later in life. Okay, there are people, when you look at how they look like in their 20s, you wouldn't have wanted them, but how they've turned out in their 30s, in their 40s, more knowledge, you have more understanding of how life works, more understanding of your body, more understanding of human beings. You know, I think it can only get better as you grow older. You stop giving you stop caring about what people think about you because you honestly don't care. Well, how about what they don't think about you? Like, does it really matter? So would you date someone who is 15 years older, bearing the topic that we're talking about? Okay, so I feel like honestly the whole age thing, or like how you feel and what is the age where somebody feels older, it honestly depends with you. Some people are already exhausted at 18. They just don't they just feel so tired. Okay, some people are usually active as late as in their 80s. Okay, you've seen 80-year-olds becoming presidents. Okay, you see. Okay, and they still have life going on. Like, honestly, these people are still motivated. Before I started like looking at US politics, I was like, after 70 you can't become anything. But seeing that Americans elect 80-year-olds presidents is just something that makes you think that, like, I think with time you only get better opportunities because even people trust you more and stuff like that. Because the truth is, beauty fades eventually, money can disappear, but peace, maturity, stability, that's what makes people stay. Okay? That's what makes people stay. So let me know, you guys, what would be your parting shot when it comes to this topic of when do men expire if women expire at that? So what would be your parting shot? And I'm gonna read each one of you guys. Yeah. Optimistic says men don't expire until death. Why do you think so? Do you think women expire? Why do you think men don't expire until death? And do you think women expire? Oh, at what time are you heading out?
waiting for the food to get here.
Okay, okay. Drive carefully. Slow but sure. Love you all. Good. Okay, bye bye. So optimistic says men don't expire until death. But do you think women expire? That's another thing. Men don't expire. Wow. Men don't expire. If women expire, then men have to have an expiry date. Okay, what do you think? Okay. So what would be your parting shot when it comes to this topic, especially people who have been like deeply involved with the topic? What would be your parting shot, or what would you say in conclusion? Okay, and maybe in the meantime, I think there's a question that I was forgetting here. Let me type as you guys type your things, your questions. Why? Welcome to the live stream, you guys. My good name is Wombo. We are talking about women expire that. So when do men expire? If women have an expiry date, when do men expire? Okay, or maybe the whole thing of expiring is just something that people just say to sound politically correct, or maybe that's what the society says. Okay. Okay, I think there was another question that we were forgetting. Why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Oh, that will be a nice question. Why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Clock it. Why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Okay, and I would like to hear you guys' opinion, especially the men. Okay. Also, if you're a woman and you have something, let me know. Let me know. I think this will be our last question before we start winding up. Why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Okay, I think for men it's mostly physical. Okay, let me wait for you guys to answer. Why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Okay. But I feel like men dislike when they are not being chosen. Honestly, honestly. But you guys have first-hand information. Let me know. Why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Okay, and for the men getting angry, please relax. This is a safe space to express yourself. Okay, but at the end of the day, nobody is expiring tonight. Okay, we still have some time. We still got some time to do all the things that we want to do. Okay, why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? Okay, maybe for some people it's like they don't want. So let me just go on with my analogy, or like what I think. So why do some men want younger women but get offended when women want richer men? So I think for men, they want to be associated with something attractive. You want to be able to like show your woman to your friends, like, oh my god, this is my wife. Meet my wife. Say hello to my wife. Good morning, my wife. I think men want to do that. And the only way that they can do that is by having an attractive woman. Okay, no man wants to have a woman that they can't introduce to their friends. That's at least what I get. Okay, because if you have the most ugly woman in the group, you're gonna be made fun of. And I don't think there's anybody who is ugly. I just think beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. But the truth is, you want to be the one in the friend group who has the most attractive female. Okay, so Why do men get offended when women want richer men? Because they feel like when women keep going for richer men and they are not as rich, they keep worrying that these women, these younger women who are so attractive, will not choose them. That's just my analogy. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. And also at this point, you can ask me any question. We've been talking about what is your idea of marriage. We've talked about so many things on this topic, but bottom line, what we want to find out, when do men expire? Okay, when is the expiry date for men? Okay, so because we always talk about, as a woman you expire by 30, but when do men expire? That's basically what we are talking about. Okay, I don't know, do you guys agree with my analogy, or like what I'm talking about? Jahanara Bigam says hi. Hi Jahanara, good to see you. Welcome. God, it's been such a minute before I saw you, before I last saw you. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. And for those who are just joining in, can you like the live stream and subscribe? Okay, like the live stream and subscribe. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, so remember, let me pin this question so that you guys can have easier 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 access to the questions. Okay, okay, so I think bottom line from this conversation, or like what we are looking at, is the fact is, if you don't care about what society thinks, if you don't care about what society thinks and mostly focus on yourself, if the societal's expectation don't phase you, the whole thing of like who expires at what age, when do these people expire, literally it cannot even be a concern to you. Like, for example, I don't want to say that it's not a concern to me, but it kind of basically is. But also I've been working on like not caring what people think, or like what society thinks, what they think is perfect for me, because honestly they don't. Society will help you make decisions, but society will tell you, oh, get married. Will they be there to help you feed your wife? No. Okay, have children, have okay, one child can die, so have some 5 more. You know, society will tell you such things. When you have one child can die, you want to remain with at least 4. They will tell you to have 5 children. Nobody will be in your house paying your bills. Okay, as a woman, have several children. Children are investment. Okay, but when you're struggling raising those children, they will be like, oh my god, this woman doesn't know how to take care of themselves. Like, oh my god, they're just giving birth like a pig, you know. these are real stuff. So I think at the end of the day, it's just if you don't care about what society thinks, I think you're safer than if you do care. I think you're safer than if you do care, because if you care, then you're doomed. You're doomed. You're gonna do everything that they tell you to do. You're gonna do everything the society wants you to do, just so that you can fit in their good books, so that you can be seen that, oh my god, this is such a nice person. They have a lot of things to do, you know, all those things. But yeah, Vishal Chaudhary says, hi to you, Vishal, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. So I think bottom line is, we have seen women and men, and mostly men, who are entering marriages at the age of 47, 50, 60, with bad knees, unresolved traumas, a hairline fighting for survival. You know, all these things are happening, okay? But the question is, does that really matter? Does the whole conversation about like, oh, this person is in their prime, does it really matter? So, okay, so the thing is, so as women turn 30 and transform they transform into women, into mothers. The truth is, there's nothing major that happens, okay? It's all continuous. Life is continuous, and I don't think there's nothing major that happens. You have a possibility of meeting the best person at 35 like you had at 25. That's just what I think, okay? But honestly, I think it has something to do with like, what baggage are you bringing with you, okay? So are you 30 with no children? Are you 30 with 5 children? Are you 25 with 10 children? So the possibility of you meeting somebody, it all depends with how you're packaged. So that's just my opinion. Okay. So I think bottom line, let me read for you the bottom line, because I think we had already done the bottom line. So bottom line is, that is still young, 40 is still young. Some people become happier, wiser, richer, and more attractive later in life. And some people are already exhausted at 22. And some are already exhausted at 18. Okay, so it has no classification when it comes to that. Okay, so because beauty fades eventually, money can disappear, but peace, maturity, stability, that's what make people stay. Okay, so that's the bottom line. So I'm still gonna have this live stream going. I'm gonna still have this live stream going until 2 hours, yet 1 hour 37 minutes. So you can stay, you can ask me questions, but if you have something maybe you want to do, you can feel free to leave. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Charles says, that's extremely dangerous. Kids impressionable and extremely dependent on their parents. I personally gotta have more than enough and supplies for at least 2 years ahead in case of hardship. Okay, let me tell you, when you have children, and I think that's something that we don't talk about. Okay, we don't talk about the fact that, like, honestly, when you have a child, that's, you know, people always say that like children come with their own plates, okay? But I have never seen a child come with their own plate, honestly. And I know it's a saying, it's a saying, but like, honestly, there's no child that comes with their own plate. I feel like having children is such a permanent decision. Kids impressionable and extremely dependent on their parents. I personally gotta have more than enough food and supplies for at least 2 years. Okay. And kids are tedious and destructive. So do you want children, Charles? Do you want children? Because I think people say that, I think that people who say that children are tedious and destructive are people who don't want children. So do you want children? Okay, honestly, let me tell you, my brother have children. God, I adore his children. Like, I think that's so far where I'm at in life. And I told you guys that everybody or anybody is allowed to change their mind at whatever time in their life. But how I see it is like, that's as close that I'll ever get to like seeing or having a closer experience of like having children. Okay, let me tell you, that little girl, she adores me. I'm literally her aunt, and I spoil her that, like, I buy her sweets. I can't wait until like she's still young, like she's still small baby, 2 years. I think she did turn, yeah, she's 2 years old, and she talks so much. Okay, I adore her. And also, even my friends, I have friends who I love their children, like I like their children, but it's only good as far as I'm being an aunt. I don't want to be their mother. Like, that child is being a burden, then you're the mother. That child is misbehaving, then you're the mother. Okay, you don't get to catch a break from these children. Oh, Charles, you don't want children. That's the only reason you would say that. Okay, what if you have a child by mistake? What would you do? What if you by mistake you have a child? Okay, what would you do? Because I think that's something that people don't ask. for people who don't want children, if you have a child by mistake, because it can happen, okay, it doesn't mean because you don't want a child, like, you're not putting yourself in situations that can make you to be a parent. So if it happens, what do you do? Okay. Children are tedious and destructive, okay? And also, you know what? Another thing with children, let me tell you, children, they don't stay at one spot, okay? And you can't have a clean house with children. You can, but it will be a lot of work. You have to stay on top of things, okay? Guys, welcome to the live stream. We've been talking about when do men expire if women expire at 30, okay? When do men expire if women expire that? We've been talking about that for 1 hour 40 minutes now. So right now we are just at the stage where, like, we are talking about anything and everything. So ask me absolutely any question, we're gonna be answering. Also, we are still winding up on the topic. If somebody have because I have been ending the live stream before time, so I told myself that I have to keep going. AG, do you have this question copy pasted where you keep sending it every other time? So my African country doesn't provide food. I'm African, I have nobody, I'm hungry. But you're always online. You're always online, AG. How does that turn out? Like, how is it that you're always online? Okay. God has left African country. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, and I think some of you guys who missed yesterday's conversation, we were talking about why are you wearing a wig? I'm not wearing a wig. Some of us just have long hair. Philip Soma says hi. Hi to you, good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Yesterday we were talking about women being wifey material, or like why is it important for a woman to be wife material, and what is wife material? Okay, so that's what we were talking about yesterday. Let me know what you guys think about that topic, because I feel like most of us who are here right now, we were not there yesterday. So, and I was saying that sometimes for some people, being wife material, it just means easy to keep. Somebody who who doesn't confront, somebody who sacrifices their dreams, somebody who is extremely patient, agreeable. What does wife material mean to you guys? If you would maybe revise on that. Charles says, my country at my throat to have couple of kids. So I'm avoiding all the problems that I know people being happy with kids have. My country. Okay, can you please type the first thing? Honestly, I can't. I think I can read the rest, but maybe can you please rephrase or something? Philip Soma says, good morning, how are you? I'm good. Good morning, Philip. Good to see you. What do you think when it comes to the topic? When do men expire if women expire at 30? Most people say that women expire at 30, or like after 30, women lose their what is it called, mojo, or the strength, that the whole thing of like being in your prime. So that's what we've been talking about. So what do you think? Also, yesterday, guys, we were talking about wifey material, and I think we did come to a conclusion. For some people, or for some men, wife material is just somebody who can be controlled, who can be taught, who can be reshaped, who can. Charles says, to me, a serious relationship requires the same level of commitment, dedication as rearing kids. I'm kind of a loner. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I also think so. A healthy relationship, because I feel like you need to be devoted. I have seen people who've said there are people who've said, like, the reason why they don't want to marry people with children is because when you're starting at zero, and another person, you're starting when you're starting a family with somebody, and they are coming in with a child. I don't care if it's one or two. So if they have two children, you're starting the game at 2-0. Okay, so this person, if it's a guy or a lady, they'll try to convince you that, like, this is also your child and stuff like that. But you're only the parent when it's convenient. You're only the parent during the happy moments where you're like, oh my god, mommy. Let's say I marry a guy with kids. Okay, I'm only mommy when, like, I'm being nice, I'm cleaning for them, I'm being, I'm buying gifts for them. But when you try to discipline these children, when you try to tell them don't do that, you're not mommy anymore. You're not my mama. You're a step mama. Stuff like that. So that's just my opinion when it comes to, like, being a step parent. Honestly, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's messed up, but that's just my opinion. Okay, I don't know. What do you guys think when it comes to, like, getting married to somebody who already have children, especially if you don't have? Because if I have children and you have children, then we are starting at draw, like, everybody got their own. But I just feel like when I join in the situation, like, a guy already have children, I feel like I'm the only outsider in that house. Like, I'm the only one who is not related to you guys. So when it comes to time to fight, you guys are always fighting at me. While when you start at 0-0 and have children with somebody, those children are both of you. So they will not look, even if mom is more disciplining than the dad, it's just parenting. It's just a whole parenting thing. So this is another topic that we could literally talk about. But let me know what you guys are thinking when it comes to the same. Okay. Okay. Charles had said, to me, a serious relationship requires the same level of commitment and dedication as rearing kids. Wow. That's deep. That's deep. Profound. Okay. Welcome to the live stream, you guys. We're literally winding up. If you have some afterthoughts or something to add on what I said. Please do so. And maybe in the meantime, you guys can also help me answer, like, is being wife material a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a good thing or bad thing? Should women get excited and happy when somebody says, you know what, you're wife material? What's up?
I was waiting for the food, and I got a picture that it's sitting on the porch. I didn't see the guy show up.
Oh, wow. I saw you do, like.
Yeah, so I'm getting out my game saving, and I'm going to be leaving soon. I love you, Bubba.
Take care. Okay. Okay, so I think you guys don't have afterthoughts when it comes to the topic. We've already, like, mostly explored most of the things that we were gonna talk about today. Oh my god. Okay, let me get myself something in the kitchen. I dislike to, like, end before time. Sometimes you just have to stay. You just have to stay, because when you start, like, cutting the show halfway, I don't care if, like, you guys have finished talking or something. Like, I feel like people should be consistent. Like, you should be consistent. I don't care if it's you're not feeling like you want to be consistent. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent in anything that you guys are doing, honestly, in real life. Because I know we only meet here for like 2 hours, and we feel like we spend time with each other. you guys on the other side of the screen. But you know what? Whatever you're doing, whatever project you're doing, you gotta keep showing up. You gotta keep showing up. Okay, so let me get myself something. Wow. God, I wish I could cook some pancakes. Okay, let me tell you, sometimes I tell myself like I'm not hungry, and then in the middle of the right now it's 9:54 p.m. Okay, but I was like, I'm not gonna cook because I kind of ate dinner at 6. Okay, so right now I'm like, I'm not feeling hungry, and it's at night. Who does that? Okay, only one boy does that. But whew, God, these have been such a fulfilling conversation. It's been such a fulfilling conversation, you guys. After this show, I'm gonna go back. I'm watching Knocked Up on Netflix, so I'm gonna finish watching the Knocked Up. So you guys, I think I'm gonna see you guys on Monday. I usually try to go live on Sundays. So I won't say see you guys on Monday, but officially see you guys on Monday with these regular shows, the ones at night. But maybe we might see each other on Sunday. So you guys, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being part of this show. Okay, I'm trying to borrow time so that I don't end before the 2-hour mark. I wish I could watch, but I don't want. I don't want to have, what is it called? Copyright. Copyright. Okay, maybe this is a good chance to test my microphone. Steven Mutumbu says you're back. Okay. I was trying to like wind up, but I don't like doing stuff like that. Like, I don't like saying that I'm doing 2 hours and then I back out. So let me try this microphone so you guys can tell me how audible I am. How audible am I? Like, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, or maybe let me hold it. Uh, how is the sound compared to like without the microphone? Somebody, Steven, somebody help me. I never understand the microphone thing because honestly, I think I have such a loud voice and it's just the same for me. But here we are. Somebody let me know how is the sound. Or maybe I should just listen for myself on the laptop. You know what? Let me just listen for myself. But you guys can also tell me if you can even hear me. Because I know this morning I tried to use the microphone and people couldn't hear me. Guys, for those who haven't subscribed, please kindly consider subscribing. Consider subscribing. Hey, you guys are about to get ready for this microphone, okay? I'll start the microphone. Oh my god, is that deep? Ah, yeah. Okay, it's that deep. Lord, now it's so loud, extremely loud. Okay, let me reduce the volume so that. Thank you guys for staying with me as I test my microphone. Okay. Uh, because honestly, I think I have such a loud voice and it's just the same for me, but here we are. Somebody let me know how is the sound. Maybe I should just listen for myself on the laptop. Okay, so nice, but ni kama radio station. Okay, so what would you prefer? Would you prefer with the microphone or without? Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna make a habit of like doing with the microphone so you guys can get used to my sound. Okay.
So, which one do you prefer, without the microphone or with the microphone? Which one is? But I feel like the microphone is more professional, especially when I am recording videos, pre-recording videos. Okay. Hmm. Well, this tells you that like these live streams are about to get way better and fun and stuff. We are still getting the tools here and there, slowly but surely we are gonna get there. Huh. Uh-uh. Okay, let me see. I'm still testing the microphone. Sorry for you guys for being here to test the microphone with me. But I said like you guys can leave at your pleasure. It's just that like I just like when I say I'm doing 2 hours, I wanna make sure that I'm doing 2 hours. Okay. Let me see. Oh my god, this is the best time to even try my songs, okay? Down the way when the nights are gay and the sunshine daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship. When I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Down at the market, you can hear ladies cry out alone their heads they bear. Aki rice or fish and nice, and the rum is good. Anytime will be a bottom. Sad to say, I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls swing to and from. I must declare my heart is there, though I've been from Maine to Mexico. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. We'll be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Okay, lovely voice and song. Okay, thank you so much. Let me do piano, man. I think is the best. I think right now is the best time for me to learn new songs because I can be singing. Okay. Ah, I'm so sorry, but you sound terrible. Ah, okay. So is it that my sounds like do I sound terrible? Or like is it the microphone before the whole show? Uh, what's that? The whole show I wasn't using the microphone. So is it worse? Should I not use? Steven, are you lying to me telling me that the microphone is great? Ah, thank you for telling me, Charles. Um, okay, let me sing Piano Man. We are still testing the microphone. You know what? I'm gonna listen to this video later on so that I can know if like using the microphone is a good thing. Okay, Piano Man. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic engine. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. Oh, la la la, di da da, la la di da da, da da. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we are all in the mood for melody. You got us feeling alright. Oh la 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 di da da, la la di da da. Now John the bar is a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free. But and he's quick with a joke and all to light to light up a smoke, but there's somewhere he'd rather be. He says, Bill, I believe this is killing me. As the smile ran away from his face. Well, I'm sure I could be a movie star if I could get out of this place. Oh, la la la, di da da, la la di da da, da dum. Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who is still in the Navy and probably will be for life. Oh, la la la, di da da. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Yes, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we are all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. It's a pretty good crowd for a Saturday, and the manager gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's me they've been coming to see to forget about life for a while. And the piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a bear. And they sit in the bar and put bread in my jar and say, Man, what are you doing here? Oh, la la la, di da da, la la di da da, da dum. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we are all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Yay! Okay, that was a good run because I will listen. Okay, I'll listen to both. The one that I did with the microphone and the one that I did without, and I'll see what's best or like what do I think is best. Okay, Charles, do you think that I still sound terrible? As Steven says, it's just adjustment. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think maybe to him or the way it's translating to his phone, maybe it doesn't sound good. I'll listen. I'll listen and see because I don't know. Maybe I like it sounding like a radio station, but at the same time, if my sound without the microphone is better, maybe that could be it. Okay. Oh yes, mom. Little off. Okay. Okay. So with the live stream, I think I might use it just for live recording. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the live stream. So until next time, bye bye. Okay. Gilbert says, you from Nairobi, Lakewood? What does that mean? I'm from Nairobi. Yes, yes, sir. Uh, Chan says hello from Korea. Wow. When my channel reaches people in Korea, it's like wow. Okay, honestly, let me turn off the microphone because I don't want to throw people like Charles off. Because honestly, I had listened before and heard the way it's translating, like you feel like you're in a radio thing or something. It sounded off to me, but you know what? Maybe I should use it just for recording videos, but not for live streaming. Although, although maybe I should maybe put my camera far from the microphone. I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. You're a beautiful lady. Thank you so much. You guys kindly subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Uh, hmm. Okay. Hi to you, Gilbert. Okay. Or maybe let me try. Let me try at a distance. Oh my god, it literally sounds so.
Thank you, Charles. Honestly, I just listened to it. God, wow, it sounds so deep. I think that would be good. It would be better for for recording. Okay. I'm fine, my dear friend. So I think what you're gonna do is like I'm gonna make a video with it and see how it sounds. Gilbert says, I'm fine, my dear friend. Okay. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Wow. You guys are now even showing up even more. Like, I don't know. Do we stop the live stream or do we continue? What happens? Welcome to the live stream, you guys. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Yes, absolutely. That's outside, okay? Gilbert says, I'm fine, my dear friend, okay? So, for those who haven't subscribed, if you're watching this video, you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, okay? I think we've come to the end of the show. As much as I would like to stay. Charles says, hey, I'm impressed just being able to admire your beautiful features and pearly white teeth. So you don't mind if I'm talking or if I'm not. You guys just enjoy the show, okay? Oh, I get a lot of comments about my teeth. Maybe I should just be starting the live stream just like the whole time, okay? The whole time. Guys, kindly subscribe. Let's sub up, you guys. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's do a challenge. Can we get 2 people to subscribe? Can we get 2 people to subscribe in here? 2 people, 2 people. Wow. Basi. Okay, so thank you, Charles, for the what is it called? Compliments. Okay, you know what, you guys, but you know what, we gotta go, even though I know you guys enjoy. So make sure you're subscribed so that I can show up on your feed, okay? So bye bye. Good night. Good night to you, Steven. Okay, so Charles and everybody in the chat, everyone who is watching, the moment I start packing up my bags, you guys show up. But I like that. Claremont Crawford says, hello, Empress. How are you? I'm good. How are you doing? Welcome here. Okay. Honestly, one of the things that I think maybe when I grow like a huge following or something, maybe I will not be able to do. But one of the things that I pride myself is like I usually respond to everybody on here. So where are you watching me from, Crawford? Love you, so natural. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. If you just tuned in, can you subscribe? Everybody, let's sub up. Let's get me some place. Where are you from? Kenya? Where are you from? Claymont Crawford. Wow. And I know I might not be pronouncing your name correctly. Okay. Wow. So you guys, I think honestly, you guys are showing up at the end of my show. I don't know, so that you guys can be able to see me next time. Make sure you're subscribing so that like you can get notified every time I go live. Nice file. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wish you would have showed up like 10 minutes earlier, but you know what? It is what it is, and we are here. Okay, God, I treasure every one of you guys, and yeah, feel free to subscribe. Okay, God, I think I've been saying this is the end of the show like 10 times, but this time round is literally it. Guys, I think I'm gonna see you. No, I'm not single. I'm gonna see you guys next time, and until next time, bye bye. But Claymont, I don't want to leave you hanging. Any kids? No, but I'm not single. I'm not single, but I don't have children. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next time. Okay. Everybody, if you just tuned in and you want to see me on your feed next time, subscribe. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.